That's my buddy Chris from Doc Walker, first guest on the Fresh Air Inspector segment. Chris, how you doing, pal?
Well, I'm good, enjoying the fresh air.
So you can explain the Fresh Air Inspector comment because my wife Jen says that's what they said when they were kids growing up in Manitoba. If you didn't have a summer job, they said, "What are you doing for the summer?" They'd say, "Well, I'm a fresh air inspector."
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Well, my wife's a little younger than me. She had no idea what that was, so
Well,
I had to explain.
these young kids. Yeah.
Well, she didn't even know what Pogie was.
Oh, okay.
She's like, "You mean UI benefits?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to call it back in our day." It was like, okay, well, gonna go enjoy some fresh air and go on Pogie.
Yeah, going Pogie. I think Karen, our assistant, her husband Brian, when he was a kid, it was called Government Artists. And I thought, like, that's not very nice. We're artists.
No, that's not.
So welcome to the segment. And how you doing? How's the family? Everybody okay from the COVID
Good,
stuff?
yeah. Everybody's good here. We pulled the kids out of school a couple days before everybody else.
Yeah.
Because they got to take the bus in. They get on the bus at like 7:20 in the morning. They don't get home till 4:45. So I figured with everything that was going on, it would be better just to, just give them a break. And it's funny, we got our box of board games. We got Operation, Scrabble, and all that. So
yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. We've been teaching the kids to cook and to clean up, which is the tough part.
Yeah, it is. Wait till even ours at the age of 20 and 21, they don't clean up so good. They did last night though. It was good. Yeah. Well, that's good. You guys are safe.
Yeah, we've been keeping busy. We also have that. I told you we have that campground that I started a couple years ago. So we're just once the snow goes, we're going to be up there getting stuff ready because everybody's pretty excited to self quarantine beside a beach with.
Well, hey.
With a cold one.
That's what I keep saying. I wish this wasn't winter because, you're self-quarantined, then we got the whole family home early. All the kids, both kids from university, and all three kids out there. It'd be a whole bunch of fun to, go outside and go camping and fishing and all those things. But we can go ice fishing, which I guess is better than no fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
So as far as the industry goes, let's talk shop for a second. Because I was talking to Brother Dave the other day, and he said, he does like over 200 dates a year. He said the tap just went from, everything's normal to off. And no anything, no assistance, nothing because, self-employed. So how's it going for you guys?
Well, it's same as everybody, A good friend of mine, Kelly Morris, who used to drive our bus, and then he went and bought his own, and he was driving on the Letterkenny tour. And I think they were supposed to have a couple days off. He got a phone call saying, "Hey, can you be here in an hour?" And he's like, "Oh, get another show, or where are we going?" He's like, "We're going home," and that was it. So, I mean, a lot of things are going to be postponed. We had some interesting shows lined up in April in small towns in Manitoba that, that we've been doing, just Dave and I. We call it Chris and Dave's Happy Hour and a Half. And we go to small community halls and we do this show, and it's an absolute blast. So, I talked to the folks in the small towns, and they said, let's reschedule it because once this calms down a little bit, I think people are going to want to get out. And especially in smaller communities, it's a really tough time because I live in a town of 50 people. And right before the shutdown, we were all at the fish fry. And it's just, you realize how much you miss getting together in a small community.
Well, it's community, man. It's family.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how many people are going to want to go to, hockey games or 10, 15,000 seat shows. That might, but I think if you get back to the basics and to stick with the smaller shows, it may be okay. Who knows? But I just miss the fans. I got to get out there. I'm going crazy.
I know. I wish there was a way for us to go online and be able to see the fans. I think Michael Franti was doing something where he would literally call. He was on Instagram and he would call a fan, the next fan. He'd call them. Like he called one lady. She was on her way to bed. It's like, sorry, Michael, I'm going to bed right now. That doesn't.
I'm so bored. I'm painting. Like, see my hands. I'm painting my floor in my basement.
Well, I saw the pictures you sent me. That lovely shot of you in your cut-off pajamas. I can never get that image out of my head now. So I'm scarred for life. Thank you.
The bottoms were ripping on them, and they're my favorite. So I just cut them off at the knees. So I look absolutely ridiculous now.
Good job on the floor, though. If anybody needs a fake hardwood floor on your, what do you call it? You painted it, right, on cement?
Yeah, you painted on the cement.
I showed Jen. She's like, that's brilliant. I mean, it looks really good. Nice work.
Well, that's what happens with leftover paint and boredom and YouTube.
Well, luckily there's no paint here. I don't know what I'd be painting. Well,
Yeah.
listen, unfortunately, I don't get to kind of jam with you. If I did, I'd be kind of worried as to what it might come. I might just grab my guitar just kind of make me feel better. It's
Yeah,
behind me
sure.
back here. I'll just slide around. I have no crew. It's just me doing all this, so it's like nobody can pass me anything back here. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the kids to
Well,
work. Make the
no
kids
kidding.
make the kids the crew. Oh,
Yeah, no
it
kidding.
might work. Who knows? I don't
Yeah.
know. All right. Well, listen. When we were on tour, there's my Qatar. When we were
Oh,
on
you
tour,
did?
you see it? There it is. See it?
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were on tour, doing the Hit After Hit tour, which was so much fun, we have to do
Yeah.
that again. I think you mentioned we have to go down to the East Coast of Canada, down to the Maritimes, and do
And
it.
we
Yeah.
have to. I'm getting in trouble because
Well,
with the Emerson Drive tour, we stopped in Toronto, and then
yeah.
with the Road Hammers tour, we stopped in Toronto, and then we stopped in Toronto. I don't know. I hope they still allow us back
Well,
in.
hey,
'Cause
if they
I
do,
miss you.
I think we do it right away. I think once all this COVID stuff's done, you and I and Dave and Charlie, we get together, we jump in a minivan and we go.
Sounds good.
I know where it's at. It hasn't left. It's still there.
Sounds good.
But we got to do this acoustic portion of the show, and we talked about playing. You know, we would challenge each other every night. It was a lot of fun, and people saw it. So I thought, let's carry on the tradition, and I'd like you to play your favorite or one of your favorite old country songs.
Oh man, well, I know exactly which one that is. And in this time of uncertainty, I've seen so many posts online about getting closer to your family, which is so true.
Yeah.
And before you called here, I just sat in the living room and started singing songs. I haven't done that in a long time. And there's a song that I used to sing by Dan Seals that really reminds me of being out at the campground, and my parents and all their friends would play guitar, and they'd always play this song. So it was one of the first ones I ever learned, and it's just a truly beautiful song, little Dan Seals. So here we go. Saw your picture on a poster in a cafe out in Phoenix. Guess you're still the sweetheart of the rodeo. As for me and little Casey, we still make the circuit in a one-horse trailer and mobile home. And she still asks about you all the time, but I guess we never even cross your mind. But oh, sometimes I think about you and the way you used to ride in your rhinestones and your sequins, with the sunlight on your head. And oh, the crowd will always love you. But as for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Well, old Red, he's getting older, and last Saturday he stumbled. But I just can't bear to let him go. Little Casey, she's still growing, and she started asking questions. But there's certain things a man just does not know. Her birthday came and you never even called. Well, I guess we never crossed your mind at all. But oh, sometimes I think about you and the way you used to ride in your rhinestones and your sequins, with the sunlight on your head. And oh, the crowd will always love you. But as for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Everybody said you'd make it big someday, and I guess that we were only in your way. But someday I'm sure you're gonna know the cost. 'Cause for everything you win, there's something lost. But oh, sometimes I think about you and the way you used to ride in your rhinestones and your sequins, with the sunlight on your head. And oh, the crowd will always love you. But as for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Oh, everything that glitters is not gold.
Fantastic job. Wow.
Thanks,
I wish
man.
I would have wrote that song. Man,
Yeah, me too.
what an amazing
Yeah, they don't write them
song.
like that. They don't seem to write them like that anymore. You know, that's what I miss in country music now. And you know, I know
Yeah.
we talked about this whole, like, usually music changes after major historical
Mm-hmm.
things. You know, like you think Elvis came in right after the war. I'm wondering if this is going to tip the scales and with music. And I don't know. I think back to this, you know,
Yeah.
70s and 80s and some of those great songs, and hopefully we kind of get down that road a little
We
bit
need
more.
to. That's what country music always was for me. Was just amazing stories of family and faith and just to tear your heart out. And you know, I just
Well,
love,
yeah,
I love those.
it,
Those songs are
thing
the
is,
best.
yeah, the thing is, music took you on a journey, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of music now is just a bit of noise. I mean, I hate to cut down any artist because everybody's trying to do the best they can,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're doing their art. But I'd like to hear, you know, maybe I just need to dive into it a little bit more. I know there's the Chris Stapletons of the world, and you know, Core Blunds and stuff like that, which you know, great story songs.
Yeah, I was listening to some of that the other day, and I was just like, wow, that
Did you
writing is crazy.
have you seen Core Blund washing his hands? Have you been doing that now?
No, is that something I need to go watch?
Well, yeah, because now you're supposed to do it for so many seconds. So Corb said, you know, instead of the alphabet, why don't you just sing this 3 times? And he's like, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey. So now for the last 4 days, every time I've been washing my hands,
No,
I've been
you're
singing
singing rye whiskey. I saw one of the Pointer Sisters do something, and I kind of giggled. But yeah, 20 seconds, I guess, is the trick.
Yeah.
Keep washing your hands, buddy. It's been great chatting with you.
Yeah. Thanks,
And
man.
and stay safe. And thanks for the
I
song
will.
and being the very first guest on the Fresh Air Inspectors.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna go finish doing my job outside and look around.
Yeah, go paint something. Go paint the
Okay.
neighbor's barn. I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
Yeah, no kidding.
You might
Okay,
get
talk
in a
to you
bit
later,
of
bud.
trouble. Take care, pal.
Yeah.
Talk soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.